So, in this one, this guy broke into a home. Okay. Thank you.
I'm just saying, I want you to know. Hello, Sheila. Good morning. All right, good morning, everybody. My name is Judge Kim Teresa Malika. You're here today in First Appearance Magistrate Court. Today we're going to determine if there's probable cause and what your bond and release conditions should be, if any. Today is not your trial day. Please do not talk about the facts of your case. Everything's being recorded. You have a right to remain silent. You also have a right to an attorney. We have Mr. Romero at the main jail.
Actually, we have Mr. Farberek this morning, Your Honor.
Oh, Mr. Farberek.
A special guest appearance.
All right, special guest appearance. Good morning, Mr. Farberek. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Okay, so we have Mr. Farberek from the Public Defender's Office if you can't afford an attorney, and we have Mr. Reedy to my right in the courtroom. And who's with you? Hi, how are you? Welcome. All right, and we have from the state?
State. Announce your name.
Jacqueline Rieger for the state.
Spell your last name?
Rieger.
Oh, Rieger, okay. And who's next to you?
Camille Smith.
Hi, Camille Smith. Hello. And Miss Rieger. All right, so we have a couple private attorneys. We have Nicholas Halper.
If it's something serious.
Good morning, Gary Cole on behalf of Mr. Halper.
Good morning. Let me just find your paperwork, sir.
Where's the...
What page?
Page 14.
Holper. H-O-L-P-E-R. H-O-L-P-E-R. Yes.
All right, so the first one is going to be page 14, Nicholas Halper. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, ma'am.
All right, counsel, can you announce your appearance for the record?
Yes, Judge, Gary Cole on behalf of Mr. Halper.
Nice to see you, Mr. Cole. All right, so Mr. Halper, you have burglary, unoccupied structure, unarmed. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is grand theft between $300,000 and $5,000. Court does find probable cause unless I hear an objection.
No, Judge.
Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with Ceramic Pro LLC. They're actually out of
San Diego, yes,
San
Judge.
Diego, so just no victim contact, direct or indirect. Of course, that doesn't include his attorney. All right, what say you, state?
The state's requesting a bond amount for $2,500.
2,500 and 1,000? Okay, what say you, defense?
Judge, I would ask for a $1,000 bond on the burglary dwelling charge. Mr. Holfer, born and raised in Miami, has substantial business ties to Broward County, currently lives in Sebastian, where he's owned a home for the past 15 years. He's married with 2 kids. One of his children has a medical issue. In fact, Mr. Holfer was supposed to bring him to a substantial evaluation this morning, and now Mr. Holfer's wife is going to have to take care of that. So I would just ask if you would set a $1,000 bond on count 1.
Okay. All right, granted, 1,000 on 1, 1,000 on 2. Thank you, sir, nice to see you.
Thank you, Judge. You too.
Okay, Eric DeCosta, we have Mr. Mike Detko here. Nice to see you, Mr. Detko.
Likewise, Your Honor. Good morning.
morning.
And before we begin, my thanks to Mr. Reedy for notifying me that this was on the calendar.
Pleasure's all mine, Mr. Dutko.
Your Honor, with respect to probable cause, we're going to stipulate the probable cause. There's a bond set. I'd ask you to leave the bond in place. He's got a no bond hold on another charge. And I would re-advise Mr. DeCosta to say nothing about this case. Good morning, Eric.
First felony. I printed out the piece.
Page 10.
So PC is found, initials, date, and then whatever the bond amount is.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, state, anything further?
No, Judge.
All right, 3,500, thank you.
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
Nice to see you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Michael.
Okay, here you go.
Anytime, Mike.
All right, Alexis Cordova Perez.
Your Honor, I've called for a Spanish interpreter. They have not yet arrived.
Jackie, today, I don't know, do we have extraditions? What I would do is I would call them up and see if we need a Spanish interpreter, because last time we had to wait 15 minutes. Yeah, whenever you want, whenever you want, at your own leisure. I just, didn't want to be sitting here for extraditions waiting and. All right, LaShawn Curla. LaShawn Curla, please.
Last name?
Thank you.
All right, good morning, Ms. Curla. You have resisting an officer obstructing without violence, $100 bond. Court does find probable cause. What say you, Mr. Farberick? Does she want to resolve her case?
Judge, she does not want to resolve the case today. She did ask me if the court would consider an ROR in this case. I don't believe she has any priors. I can tell the court that she's lived here all of her life, that she has family members that live here as well.
Well, Mr. Farberick, let me cut you off for one moment. State, do
Sure.
you have any objection? Does she have priors?
Yes, priors out of North Carolina and South Carolina for,
When?
from 2013.
Okay, ROR, thank you, good luck.
Thank you, Judge.
Merlin Danny,
Paul Ryan, Your Honor. Miss Danny indicates to me she believes her bond has been posted on this case,
Okay, let's move on.
and she's correct.
okay, so bonded, thank you. Sandra Powell, please. Is that the only one you have? Paul Ryan?
I have another one. It should be in 5 minutes.
All right, what's their name? And give me the page number.
Sandra Powell, you said bonded also.
Okay,
Coswell.
I'm sorry,
Coswell, senior.
male or female?
Ma'am.
All right, let me know, thank you. Sandra Powell,
Bond's been posted.
bonded, court finds probable cause on those last two that bonded. What about Ann Sheehy?
She's in North Broward, Judge. She's a municipal ordinance medical reset.
Don't worry about the,
All right, we're not gonna medical reset her.
it's an MO case, the one that we just talked about, don't worry. The next one should be heat.
CMO.
Tiffany Heath,
Main jail.
main jail.
She's coming up.
Did you say main jail? Yes, I thought
Main
I
jail.
heard that. No, I was talking to Mr. Reedy. I thought he said that, but. All right, okay, so she has possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, possession of cocaine, possession of MDMA. I don't know if I have the wrong probable cause affidavit. I looked it up, but I don't see anything in here with regard to drugs. I just see that she got a traffic stop, had a suspended
Yeah.
driver's
There's no
license.
page to it. There's only one page.
But the PC says, I don't know if the officer or what he did.
There's a
Says
page, looks like,
something.
huh?
I'm missing the second page of the probable cause affidavit.
Oh, no.
That's what I meant to say about this.
Yeah,
Let me
Do you
just-
guys have the
Missing it
second
as well.
page?
One moment.
Yeah.
We're missing-
all right, so let's pass it for the second page and have a seat. Next one is Shakitha Norman, please.
I don't have it here.
Shakitha Norman.
It's not heat.
Someone's
Bonded.
gotta call intake and get it. Bonded, thank you.
The more bonds, the better.
Who bonded? Norma? Okay.
Jaquanza Brown.
Did she find probable
Bonded.
cause?
Court finds probable cause. Yeah, all of them when they're bond. Sarah Bruce Bakuri. Is that your name?
Yes, ma'am. What's your last name? McCurry. Judge, who are you looking for? I'm sorry.
Sarah Bruce McCurry.
I'm sorry, okay.
What happened to Brown?
Bonded. Probable cause found. Okay, so you have possessed, retain, receive, retain, stolen credit card or debit card, $1,000. Grand theft between $300 and $5,000 bond.
Brown
3
is
and
one,
4
sorry.
petty theft, second degree, first offense, $25 each. 5 is fraud, utter a false instrument, 1,000. 6 is illegal use of a credit card. To obtain goods over $300, $1,000 bond. Count 7 and 8 are $1,000 bond each. Fraud, attempt to use ID of another person without consent, and sell, manufacture, or deliver forged, stolen DL or ID, $1,000 bond. Count 9. Second page is driving while license is suspended. First offense, $100 bond. Court finds probable cause. Total bond is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. $6,150. And court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials LJT, and no return to the Space Coast Credit Union. What say you, defense?
Judge, she lives in Tallahassee. She's from Tallahassee. She's lived there all of her life. She has 3 children that are age 13, 11, and 7. She has no money in the bank. She was down here visiting friends. She's indicated she can afford some bond, but not the bond that's currently set there. She indicated she could afford about $200. What I would be asking the court to do is to keep the $1,000 on counts 1 and 2, and then ROR her on 3 through 9.
What's her prior history state?
Honor, she was arrested August 22nd of this year for the same charges in Temple Terrace.
What's the date of incident on those?
It's not, they're from, I believe Tallahassee, Your Honor. When? From August 22nd. Also, she has priors out of Kansas and Pennsylvania. 2014 out of Pennsylvania. Your Honor, she had possession of forgery, computer theft, theft by deception.
All right, well, she's already on release pending resolution of another criminal matter, so therefore, the court's gonna keep all her bonds in place except for 3 and 4, I'll ROR her. Thank you, ma'am, good luck to you. Next one is Megan Rose.
She is in North Broward, Your Honor.
Sure.
See the medical
North
record.
Broward, Megan Rose. Good morning.
See, there's a roll.
You have an ad charge, Cape
Just put her name and
15,
number.
We don't need them.
for petty theft in front of
Sure, the
Judge
case number's right.
McCarthy. $100 bond, I'll set bond at $1. Court finds probable cause.
Yes, Ms. Rose is currently being held no bond on count 3, Your Honor. We would be asking the court to sign a phone order so she can contact some family and friends.
Sure, why is there only count 15 here? Because on my Capia Sheila, it has petty theft 3 times, 5,000 ROR 100. Total of 5,100 was, Ms. Rose magistrated on those?
Yes, Judge, our office represents her on those charges currently.
I know, but,
Other ones, because the bond was set per the KPAs.
okay,
It's a petty theft.
because these
So you
numbers
said
never
that
match,
$1.
so. All right, so $1 bond, you needs to,
Here, you can use this.
set.
Here, we'll look at this.
Okay, Madam Clerk, I need this set in front of Judge Barbara McCarthy tomorrow, because she had medical
Yeah,
resets.
redo it, just redo it. That's easier.
Tomorrow morning, okay?
We're done.
Thank you.
There's a medical reset. Let's see if she comes.
Danita Taylor.
North Broward,
There were medical resets. Only have people that were listed recently.
I'll get you called next.
Check to see, let me see.
Okay, and then we'll take the Spanish interpreter after, Ms. Taylor. I didn't see you there.
She just
Next
walked in,
time, you
Judge.
can just step up to the podium so I see you,
Just walk
okay?
in.
Okay.
Let me see if BCC got a number.
All right, Ms. Taylor, you have possession of cocaine and possess and/or use drug paraphernalia, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Ms. Taylor declined to speak with me, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Taylor, do you want to represent yourself?
No.
Do you want the public defender to represent you?
Yes.
There you go, Mr. Reedy. All right, go to your left. You can talk to your attorney on the phone. We'll recall your case. Go to the left, ma'am. Sean Carswell. Oh, I'm sorry, did it again. All right, Alexis Cordova Perez. Anybody else we need for the Spanish interpreter? Is anybody at the main jail? Can you make an announcement?
¿Alguien necesita la intérprete?
Not at Maine, just Mr. Cordova.
Okay, give me one moment. North Broward, do you need a Spanish interpreter?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, Conti?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Paul Ryan? No?
No, Your Honor, I only have that one who's coming now.
All right, let me know when they get there, please.
No
All right,
problem.
raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to translate from English to Spanish, Spanish to English to the best of your ability?
I do, Maria Salazar, certified court interpreter.
Okay.
Or Salazar.
Okay, Mr. Cordova Perez, you might want to write this name down. It's a,
Señor Córdoba
Extradition
Pérez,
you have 2 out-of-state holds for a felony out of New Jersey.
señor, usted tiene 2 retenciones de fuera de este estado.
One is for
Uno de New
dangerous drugs.
Jersey.
Dangerous drugs.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, interpreting.
One is for dangerous drugs.
Una es por drogas peligrosas
The other one is failure to appear for drug offenses.
y la otra es que no compareció por el cargo de ofensas relacionadas con drogas
Receiving stolen property,
y también venta de propiedades robadas,
obstructing police,
obstrucción a la policía,
possess a weapon,
posesión de armas de
person
fuego.
person not to have a weapon,
No tenía usted permiso para las armas
and possess a handgun.
y posesión, I'm sorry, Your Honor, interpreté.
Possess a handgun.
Y posesión de una pistola.
Court does find probable cause.
La
We'll see
Corte
you
encuentra causa probable para los delitos.
in extradition court
Está usted en corte de extradición.
Tuesdays and Thursdays at 1 p.m.
Tiene que ir a la corte de extradición. Es los martes y los jueves a la 1 de la tarde.
Good luck to you, sir.
Que tenga buena suerte.
All right, I don't think we have anybody else for the Spanish interpreter.
May I say something?
Sure.
Sí, usted puede decir algo si quiere.
Tenido nunca pistola, yo nunca he robado, yo no he extorsionado a la policía, yo sí.
Don't discuss anything about the facts of your case, sir.
I haven't possessed weapons, espérese, and I
All right,
haven't.
this is not about his case today. All he's here for today
En este momento no es el momento para que usted diga esas cosas. Usted no está en la corte adecuada para decir eso. Hoy día lo único que están haciendo.
Let me start from the beginning. The only reason he's here today is to determine if there's an out-of-state warrant.
Señor, lo único que está acá hoy es para determinar la orden de arresto del
There's
Estado.
actually two out-of-state warrants
Tiene usted dos órdenes de arresto de fuera de este Estado
for the charges that you just told him.
por los cargos que le acaba de mencionar la jueza.
And it's not to fight the charges today.
Y no es, I'm sorry, Your
It's
Honor.
not to fight the charges today.
El día de hoy no es para pelear esos cargos.
Today is just to determine if he was arrested for failures to appear.
El único, could you speak on the microphone, Your Honor?
I don't have one. This is
Oh,
it.
no wonder. El día de hoy es solamente para determinar.
So it's just to determine if he failed to appear and there's a warrant out of state.
Que usted no compareció y por lo tanto tiene una orden de arresto de fuera de este estado, proveniente de fuera de este estado.
Today is not his trial day.
El día de hoy no es su juicio.
So don't talk about the facts.
Entonces no hable de los hechos del caso.
Everything you say or do
Todo lo que usted diga o haga
will be used against you.
Va a ser usado en contra suya.
Everything's being recorded and taken down.
Todo lo que usted está diciendo está siendo grabado o escrito
By a court reporter.
por una estenógrafa de la corte.
So we'll see you in extradition court, sir, Tuesday or Thursday
Y lo vamos a ver en la corte de extradición, señor. Eso va a ser el martes o el jueves
at 1 p.m.
a la 1 de la tarde.
It could be today,
Puede ser hoy
next week,
o la próxima semana
or whenever they set his case.
o cuando se la programen a usted para que vaya.
Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Gracias y que tenga buena suerte.
Ok, gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, give me one moment.
This is Paul Ryan. I got that email here.
Okay. Sean Carswell, is that your
Yes,
name,
ma'am.
sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we have Mr. Reedy from the Public Defender's Office who's in the courtroom. You have an ad charge, a capious misdemeanor. It is for
Carswell.
trespass, a structure or conveyance, or no-show at arraignment on 10/24. Were you incarcerated then?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll call you if you do.
This is count 12.
What was his bond, Sheila, before he missed his court date? Because he was incarcerated when this, when he failed to appear. I don't know why they didn't bring him over, but.
I just went to court Friday and they took care of some open cases, 3 misdemeanors.
Well, you're gonna go tomorrow before Judge Pohl.
But it
I
wasn't.
don't want, can I take care of it now? I don't want to go to court. I don't want to go on
Well,
that
I don't
ride.
know what else you have pending, and this is an ad charge, and this is count 12.
Yes, he has some no bond holds, Judge.
All right, you're not taking care of this today. So I'll tell you what, I'll give him a $1 bond on this. Defendant was in Broward County Jail, time capious was issued. How long has he had his no bond hold? A while?
He's been in custody since September 5th.
All right, so obviously. All right, $1 bond, you'll see Judge Pohl tomorrow. Thank you, sir, good luck to you.
Judge, did you find PC?
Court finds probable cause for the arrest and the capious. Reg Moss.
Moss, M-O-S-S.
Bond was posted.
Okay, court finds probable cause, he bonded, or she. David Allen Gilbert.
There is a municipal ordinance charge with Mr. Gilbert, Your Honor.
Let's see, M.O.
Gilbert, she's gonna recite for a second for, let's see if she goes or not.
Jesus Herrera Valles.
Appears to be a medical loan, Your Honor.
Medical loan. Prison medical reset, because it's Ross's case.
Whenever anyone is,
Do I still initial it?
No.
What?
Yeah. Next one should be Goldberg, right?
Okay, Mr. Shate, fill this out. Okay, so I actually just called one of yours. David Gilbert. Hi, James, we're gonna have to talk about.
Is this medical or?
did you call Mr. Goldberg, Your Honor?
Gilbert.
Is Gilbert or Goldberg?
Gilbert.
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 Okay, you have petty theft, first degree between $100 and $300, $100 bond. You have a capious misdemeanor. You failed to appear. You were a no-show at arraignment on 1/24/18. Bond set at $500. Then we have another petty theft for $250. That's your case, Mr. Shade, I believe. Or is it not? It's
Which
a
one is
10.
that, Judge? I'm sorry.
It's a 10.
That would be Mr. McLawrence.
Because there's a 40, yeah. All right, so you want to come up on this one? It's David Gilbert.
No.
I don't know what
It's
page
page
it
8.
is. Page 8. What say you, court finds probable cause for his arrest and for the petty theft. What say you, defense? We'll start with Mr. Farbaric.
Judge, he indicated that he has no money in the bank, that he's not currently working. He does have family members here. He said his uncle's going to try to help him out with the bonds that are currently set. He said he could afford about maybe $200, something like that.
So then he should be able to post the bonds. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do,
I can check on
and he
Odyssey.
he has 2 other pending cases.
And he has 11 failure to appear, and he has multiple grand thefts and petty thefts.
Then you know what? I'm not gonna change his bonds. You want to say something further?
Yes, Your Honor. First, have we already been appointed? I'm sorry. I
If
didn't.
you need to be appointed, I don't know, but I can
Okay.
appoint your office.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Mr. Stidle,
Does he have a-
Stidle, Mason?
All right, so I'm gonna leave the bonds in place. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
It's about 300, right? Yeah, that's 200.
Jonathan Goldberg.
He refused, Your Honor.
Okay, defendant refused. Does he have anything else pending?
Do I ask her if she find a PC?
You find probable.
Court finds probable cause. Court's gonna order no return to Publix
What was that? Did she say no
No
return?
return to Publix.
at 2511 East Atlantic Boulevard in Pompano Beach. State, what's his priors?
Skinny bags. Again. Resisting without violence and criminal mischief, 2014, 2017, another criminal mischief.
All right, so no return to the public, standard pretrial supervision.
Goldberg, he's not, is she addressing it?
Pardon?
I thought he said refused. You guys still gonna put him on there?
Yeah, I'm still putting them on standard pretrial
Okay.
supervision. I'm leaving the $100 bond in place. Report to pretrial services, 24 hours of release. Leaving his bond in place. 24 hours release.
I just leave it.
That's fine. I mean, $100 bond, man.
So 100 on both counts.
Call in 3 times a week.
No, just,
The 100.
just leave the $100
Report
bond.
once a month in person.
What is she saying? Did you hear what she
No reporting after court. Thank you. Stephen Lee I. James. That's Mr. Shate, okay? Okay, we can wait. And then we have another MO. You ready on Shenard Neely? Pass. Then we have Richard Gelthoff. Who's that? That's you, Mr. Shate. Gelthoff. All right, you want to do it or no? Okay, no problem. Just passing through the list. I figured if you wanted to do it. Okay, Marcus Kennick.
Let's count. 8. So let's count.
Okay, Mr. Kennick, you have grand theft auto, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause.
Bless you.
This is actually an ad charge. Court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials BR. What's their prior history, State?
Your Honor, he's held on other priors from $10,000 to no bond. He has a domestic violence, strangulation, a bird bat, another domestic violence, battery. So he has like 10, 20, plus a no bond.
So 30,000 plus no bond?
Yes.
Okay.
Judge, we would, in light of the fact that he indicated to me as a no bond hold, I would just ask the court to leave the 1,000 in
No, I'm
place.
saying
All right, we do that. Thank you.
Davidson
Davidson Boyer, please. You're welcome.
CCN number and he'll tell you what's count 1.
Davidson Boyer.
And then just count 8. See? See if she's
All
on
right,
public
let's
health.
take yours, Mr. You ready?
Judge, if we could go on to Mr. Van Canton on page 11.
All right,
Sergio.
let me just see if I
Did you leave
have
your
it.
bonds?
Van Canton, what's the first name?
Sergio Van Canton, Judge, he's on page 11.
MO?
Okay, I have it
Is it
here.
MO or no?
It's actually the next, second to next one. Okay, Sergio Van Canton. Is that your name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you have false ID given to a law enforcement officer, no bond required. Display another driver's license, no bond required. Possession of THC, $1,000 bond. Count 4 is DUI, alcohol, or drugs, third offense within 10 years. We need to talk about bond.
Judge,
Count,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
count 5 is driving while license is suspended, first offense. Count 6, refusal to submit to a DUI test. And count 7 is lease, lend vehicle device, not for magistrate. Court does find probable cause. What say you, Mr. Shade?
Judge, I do have a probable cause argument for the DUI. It says
Okay.
that Mr. Van Canton was seen walking around the parking lot in the Western Carolina Ale House, and he appeared disoriented, and then he was now sitting in a black Land Rover SUV. Nowhere in the probable cause affidavit does it show that Mr. Van Canton was driving the vehicle. It doesn't say that the vehicle was on. It doesn't say the seat that he was sitting in. It doesn't show where the keys were at any point in time. That same argument, Judge, would go along with the driving on a suspended license, which is count 5, and then also that would go to the refusal, because you do not need to take a breath test if you're not legally arrested for a for DUI. I would say that there's absolutely nothing to show that he was DUI.
Well, that he had actual physical control of the car, you're saying.
Correct, just sitting in a black Land Rover.
State?
Judge State would make a circumstantial argument that he was in actual physical control of the vehicle in regards to the DUI, the driving while license suspended, and the refusal count.
Any objection to counts 1, 2, 3, and 7? Both 7's not for magistrate. For probable cause purposes.
Judge, as for 1, no. Number 2, no. Judge, also on the possession of the THC, it turns out, it looks like it's a residue amount of cannabis. Therefore, I'm not even sure if it's cannabis, Judge, or if it's THC. It doesn't specifically say. If it's coming from cannabis, Judge, that would be a misdemeanor charge and not a felony. So therefore, we'd ask that the bond amount be lowered on that as well.
Judge State has no objection to that. It says tested positive for THC. But it says a glass of containing what appeared to be also tested positive for THC. So that means that there was THC. Thank you. Oh, sorry. I don't know. It's not opening up.
All right, State, you need 24 or 48 hours to perfect.
48 hours, Your Honor.
All right, we need to set some type of bond. Otherwise, he's gonna remain, held in jail, so.
Correct.
It's just about the keys, right?
We can hear you with your mic.
Sorry.
It's okay, you can turn it on and off, it's up to you. Okay, state. I need a bond amount. I can't just leave it at HG and have him remain in jail for 48 hours.
Judge, if you'd like, we can set a bond on the
Tell
false
me what
ID.
you're asking for.
$500 on count one.
Well, what about, that's fine, but what about count 4?
Count four, $500 or $100, if Your Honor is inclined, since you're not finding PC.
How much?
500. And 100 on the remaining counts.
Right, so. Okay, we'll continue this for 48 hours to 11/8. At 8:30 a.m. So court's gonna find probable cause on, oh, wait a second. So it's on, I'm sorry, 1, 2, and 3, I'm finding probable cause. 4, 5, and 6, I'm not finding PC. I'm gonna give you 48 hours to perfect. I am gonna set a bond temporarily on the DUI, alcohol, or drugs, $1,000 bond, and on the possession of THC, 1 count up, $1,000 bond. Mr. Shader, are you putting in your appearance in this case if they formally hired you?
Judge, I'm actually standing in for my old partner, Evan Hoffman. He's
Okay.
going to be handling this matter.
Okay, so tell him he's gotta come on
On
Thursday.
11/8 Thursday? Okay.
Yeah,
It may be me as well. I'm not sure what his schedule
okay,
is.
no problem. So I'll set it for 8:30 whenever you guys get here, okay?
Okay. And so, Judge, he's able to bond out the way she is? Just
$2,000, yep.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. And I'll call Mr. Geldhard and take care of that in a second.
Might wanna caution your client about driving.
Oh, I will, Judge. He knew. He wasn't driving then either, Judge.
I understand. Davidson Boyer.
Don't trick me.
Do you have any others ready?
No, Judge, I'll call Mr. Geldhard.
All right,
I just had that one.
thank you.
This page doesn't print out very well.
Oh, there she is, okay. Davidson Boyer.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Where's Davidson Boyer?
He's after court.
You wanna waive his appearance? We'll do an ROR. Mr. Reading?
What'd she say?
I think that best directed at Mr. Farberik. I don't know what Mr. Boyer's situation is, Judge.
Okay, he's up in court.
He's also got counts 1 through 4.
All right, so what courtroom is he in? Is he in 4810? Can someone tell me where he is in court?
Judge, I'm not sure here what courtroom he's in.
Well, someone's gonna have to tell me. Sheila, can you tell me? Or you can't tell? Pardon?
It's got 2
Huh? 4810? All right, he's in 4810. Let's see if we can bring him here this afternoon. He's probably on his VOP.
He's also got 2 VOP no bond holds
Yeah, that's what this
on
is.
counts 2 and 3.
Yeah, that's why I asked if you wanted to waive, but
Because if he's not here to be
But he
magistrated
said
on
for
those.
tomorrow, he has a quorum.
just see if we can get him here at 1 PM today. Thank you. Dennis Wilson,
No Broward.
North Broward. Okay, Mr. Wilson, good morning, sir. You have possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. Count 2 is drive with a suspended or revoked license, no bond required. Do you have a probation violation with a no bond hold? Going before your division judge, Judge Michael Lusan, tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Okay.
Did she say
James
that?
Francois.
She did?
Yes.
James Francois,
Hey, Joe.
main jail.
So I just want to hear.
No bond.
Three James Francois.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, you have 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. We need to talk about bond. Count 3, you have a no bond hold, burglary of a dwelling, structure, or conveyance armed. And count 4 is resisting an officer or obstructing without violence, $100 bond. Court does find probable cause. What say you, state?
She needs bonds on 1 and 2.
Judge, on count 1, we're asking for a $1,000 bond. On count 2, a $1,000 bond. Count 3, $500 bond. Count 4 is 100.
On a first-degree felony, you're asking for $500 bond.
That is,
Which one you're?
that's not a first degree, I don't believe. Let me see. The deadly weapon. I think it's a second degree.
Did you ask for 1 and 2?
1,000. One moment.
All right, court's gonna order in the meantime, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim, in this case, SLC and DMB. And I want you to maintain 1,000 feet at all times, and no return to the 1148 Northwest 42nd Way, Lauderhill.
Presumption agreed on count 3. It's no bond. Armed.
Judge, on count 1, we're gonna ask for a $5,000 bond. On count 3, it's a punishable by life offense. State would be requesting your honor to find proof evident presumption great. And on count 2, $2,000 bond.
What's his prior history?
She said no contact, no return, right?
Your Honor, he was arrested on September 6th for aggravated battery on a person 65 years older.
So he has a pending case?
He might have a pending case. I'm trying to look.
Is
to
it
see.
still pending?
I'm
Yeah,
looking. Want to check to see if he's pending.
thank
Plus,
you.
he has another one August 11th for a burglary unoccupied conveyance from August 11th.
Is he a convicted felon?
He has 10 felony convicted. He has 2 felony convictions. Yes.
So he has 2 pending cases or 1? I'm sorry.
Judge, there are no pending cases.
There's no pending?
No,
What about these 2? Go down, go down.
that's this case.
What about the other one? What's the result of, Your Honor?
Oh, state filed a no information on the AGBAT 65 and older.
Okay, all right, what say you, Mr. Reedy?
Your Honor, we would object to the court making a finding of proof evident presumption great at this stage of the proceedings. That is the highest standard of proof that we have in the criminal justice system. The state's called no witnesses. They've introduced no evidence. They're asking the court to rely on a probable cause affidavit to meet that very high burden. A probable cause affidavit is designed to do one thing, and that is to establish probable cause. It is not designed to establish proof evident presumption great. We would therefore ask that the court not make a finding of proof evident presumption great and set bond for Mr. Francois. If the court, over our objection, does find proof evident presumption great, we would then encourage the court to exercise its discretion and set bond for Mr. Francois in any event.
And Judge, pursuant to, I believe it's pronounced Yaza versus State, which is a 4th DCA case that's been previously cited in front of your honor, the court can make a proof evident presumption great finding at the magistrate with the probable cause affidavit, so I'd be asking you to make that finding and hold the defendant no bond.
So Niazatsevi State had a very strong state case, including a confession, which is absent from here. The finding in that case was not that the court must find proof evident presumption great, but that it may, under the appropriate circumstances. We would argue this is not one of those appropriate circumstances.
Okay, thank you. All right, so Mr. Francois, I've reviewed the probable cause affidavit filed in your case, and I find probable cause to all counts. I further find as to count 3, proof of guilt to be evident or the presumption great. Therefore, on count 3, you're going to be held no bond pending further order of the court. This order is without prejudice, sir, for you to file a motion to set bond with your assigned division judge. I stopped for a minute because you blacked out over there. Okay, this order, sir, is without prejudice for you to file a motion to set bond with your assigned division judge and request a hearing under State v. Arthur. Court does have a concern for the nature and probability of danger for which the defendant's release poses to the community. So on counts 1 and 2, court's going to do a $15,000 bond on 1, $10,000 on 2, no bond on 3, $1 on 4, no victim contact, direct or indirect, with SLC and DMB, and maintain 1,000 feet minimum from those 2 alleged victims, and also maintain 1,000 feet from 1148 Northwest 42nd Way, Lauderhill, Florida. Court's also going to order no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons, and GPS level 2 on counts 1 and 2. I'm also going to do a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. Mr. Shea, you ready?
Yes, Judge, on page 9, I have, last name is Gelford. Geldof, I'm sorry, Judge. Richard.
Okay, who is this?
Richard Geldof.
Okay. Okay, court will do 4 days Broward County Jail, credit for time served. Court notes, it says the police officer said the offender is known to me, was passed out on a bench in front of a business. He also had a 16-ounce can of Gravity beer and an empty can in a large plastic cup. He's been warned and cited before. Officer even issued him a notice to appear. So that's what my offer would be.
You hear that, Richard? Hit the button, Richard, hit the button.
Yes.
Offering you 4 days, okay? So you have about 2 in already. Okay? So you probably get out tomorrow evening.
And no return.
And no return to that location. We're just going to keep arresting you there.
Sir,
Okay.
you can't go back there. It's 2080 Northeast 2nd Street in Deerfield. Do you understand? Does he need a place to live? Does he want to go to the CRC?
I asked him about that, Judge. He's declined.
All right, sir, raise your right hand. Do you swear and or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, your name is Richard Geldhoff, Geldhoff. I mean, sorry,
Yes.
HOF, 1F.
1F.
It's my understanding through your attorney, Mr. Shate, you want to give up all your rights to a trial?
Yes.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No.
How do you want to plead to,
Open container.
open container, alcohol prohibited, guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No contest.
You agree not to go back to this business at 2080 Northeast 2nd Street, Deerfield?
Yes.
You realize that they don't want you back there, sir. And if you go back there,
Yes.
they're gonna call the police. I just wanna give you fair warning, okay?
Yes.
They're looking for you, probably. All right, so how do you wanna plead? You wanna plead no contest, you said?
No contest.
All right, you feel pleading no contest is in your best interest?
Yes.
All right, court's gonna accept your plea, find that it's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea, adjudication 4 days, with credit for time served, $78 in court costs, 6 months to pay. Partial payments accepted, no return, sir. To this address, the 2080 Northeast 2nd Street, Deerfield. Good luck to you. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else, Mr. Shea? All right, what about this one? What about, Anne Marita Shee? Oh, I wanted to talk to you about that. $100 bond for an open container.
To ROR her, Judge.
Sure.
She was a medical reset the other day as well, so
Yeah,
she could be there for a while.
yeah, let's do an ROR. Thank you.
Thank you.
The court's gonna find probable cause. The court's gonna appoint Mr. Shea. She ready yet, or where'd she go? Oh, I don't even see you standing. Come on up. Good morning. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm here on behalf of Mr. I. James, page 9 of your Honor's docket. I did speak to Mr. I. James. He is sitting down because he's having trouble standing, if that's okay with your Honor.
That's fine.
Okay.
I recognize Mr. I. James' name.
Yes, your Honor. First, I'm asking to be appointed. He cannot afford a private attorney.
Sure.
There is also another case that is not on your Honor's docket. I did print the probable cause, the notice to appear, if your Honor would like to appoint us on that as well. He has an arraignment set for that other case tomorrow morning. It was an NTA for which he failed to appear for his arraignment. He would like to resolve both cases if your Honor is inclined.
I wouldn't resolve his case last time because he has a bunch of priors. I think I ROR'd him or put him on free trial, I'm not sure. There was something, let me just pull up this. All right, this officer apparently knows him. He has some, bunch of other cases, let me just see. Not sure, but I just want to double check.
Oh, this was,
Oh,
oh, no, the girl that left, I'm sorry, from our office.
he has 1, 2, 3, 4 pending cases, 5 traffic, let me see. There's
See traffic infractions.
Of the whole page.
Yes, I see those as well, Your Honor.
1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. He has a lot of them. I'm not going to resolve his case.
Would you at least appoint our office on
Pardon?
both? Will you at least appoint our office on both
Absolutely.
cases? Thank you. And for the record, the other case number is 180098815MO10A.
Okay. All right, so Capias, we'll leave that in place. Thank you.
Thank you. And then I have Mr. Neely on page 9 as well. He's at North Broward
You might
Church.
want to make sure that he goes before, he has a court date tomorrow, right? An MT, okay. I'm sorry, who's the next one?
He's at North Broward.
Okay, and then after that?
After that, I have no others.
Okay,
Not this morning. Thank you.
thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so Shenard Neely, North Broward, please. Shenard Neely. Good morning, sir. You have a capias misdemeanor. I'm going to appoint Mr. McLawrence's office.
And I spoke to Mr. Neely, and he would like to resolve if Your Honor is inclined to offer him a resolution today.
Okay. Does he have a prior in adjudication?
Yes, he does. Yes, I believe so.
Okay. No, don't worry about it. This one's signed. There's another one on the ground? Oh, that's fine. Is there a reason we don't have a regular appointment for your office on here? We're doing this one?
We ran out.
Okay.
I apologize. Yeah, we ran out. I didn't
That's
know there was.
fine. I don't
one
mind. I
left.
just wanted to know if there was a particular reason.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna appoint your office.
What's going on? Have you done magistrates before? I've only had one training. Okay, all right. Where are we at?
We're on MO right now, so we're taking a break.
Okay.
Did you ask you to come?
Yeah.
On October 15th, Your Honor, he was convicted adjudication. So he does have prior for trespass.
So did she like go through and pull priors or anything?
We're fine. She's doing
going
hers.
we're going as we go. Not much left anyways.
Give me one moment. I appreciate your patience.
Thank you.
Yes, arraignments. But she never responded to that. I was like, okay, because none of us. Same parents, right?
All right, he apparently keeps going back to the same area. He has a criminal history. So this is what I'll do. I'm gonna order no return to 844 Northwest Terrace.
You understand that, Mr. Neely?
Yes, ma'am.
You cannot go back there.
Okay.
Court will do 3 days Broward County Jail, credit for time served. It's based on his prior history. He keeps going back to the same area.
So, Mr. Neely, do you understand that she's giving you credit for the time that you've served? So that means you'll probably be released tomorrow because you've been in for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to accept that offer from the court?
Yes, I would.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear and/or affirm to tell the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm isn't an answer. It's yes, no, I don't know.
Yes, I do.
All right. Is your name Shenard Neely, Neely?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down, sir. My understanding, you want to give up all your rights to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
Anybody forcing you to do this?
No.
Are you under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Ever been treated for a mental illness?
No. Mental illness, yes.
Well, you don't have to tell me what it is.
Yeah. All right.
Does your mental illness affect your ability, sir, to understand what's going on here today?
No, ma'am.
All right, so what do you think we're doing here today?
Yes. You giving me 3 days Broward County Jail, right?
Yep, with credit for time served.
Okay, I accept.
All right, how do you want to plead? Guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No contest.
Court's going to accept your plea, find that's freely and voluntarily entered. Court has reviewed the court file, finds probable cause for the plea, adjudication, 3 days Broward County Jail, credit for time served, $78 in court costs, 6 months to pay, partial payments accepted. No return, sir, to this 844 Northwest 10 Terrace, Fort Lauderdale. You have 30 days to appeal the sentence of the court. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Honor.
so we don't have any more?
No,
Thank you.
that's right. Thank you.
I'm sorry, Judge. I don't remember why we recalled Ms. Heath.
Because there was no PC for drugs, we needed page 2 of the probable cause affidavit.
Okay.
Do we have the second page?
Officer, I don't know if you want to just, reset it for tomorrow?
I'm not.
No?
Not doing that to someone. We should have the second page. Sheila, did you call up intake? Who would you call?
Intake wouldn't have the paperwork.
Who would have it?
You want to email the officer?
If it didn't come with everybody else package, you gotta see what happened to it. I don't even know.
All right, this
Everybody
is,
only got one.
okay, we're gonna take a break. See if anybody can find out what happened to it. I'm not resetting this for
Okay,
the
we're gonna call-
afternoon.
we're gonna get a hold of
This
the
is
officer.
becoming a habit here. So whoever is the person, and I'm not blaming anybody in here, wherever the paperwork is coming from, it's not coming to first appearance court, and we have one page, and one page is missing. So let's take a break, someone try to find it. Trying to get the second page. What happened with Danita Taylor?
Spoke with Miss Taylor, Judge.
But weren't you supposed to speak to her further? Where is she?
She's in North Broward.
Okay, Miss Taylor. Danita Taylor. Did we finish? I don't think we finished magistrating her.
No, we did not, Your Honor. She refused to speak to us initially, and then Mr. Hill was able to speak with her subsequently.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Good morning, Judge. At
Good
this
morning.
time, the young
You can
lady-
sit down. Don't worry about it. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Speaking to the young lady, Judge, I indicated to her bond amount. At this time, unfortunately, she's not able to post that monetary bond. She indicated she's unemployed at this time. That's the reason why she's not able to post that bond. She has been living here in Broward County for about 9 to 10 years. She's originally from Boston, Massachusetts. She does live down here with her family. She does not have any children at this time, so she's not taking care of anybody. She is asking this court if the court would be inclined to reduce her bond to $100 or possibly consider releasing her on her own recognizance.
What's her prior history state?
On October 3rd for a trespass. Let's see. September 28th.
Let's do a medical screen,
trespass.
Mr. Reedy. Medical screen.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do a $100 bond. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Okay.
I still want you to do one.
It's
Just
right on there.
Mr. Reedy.
Defendant shall receive a medical screening right forthwith, really big, forthwith, big letters.
Big. Herbert Alexander. Herbert. Are you making fun of me again?
Just a little.
That's all right.
It's all with
Everybody
love,
always
Judge.
does. I can take it. As long as if I dish it out, you can take it. All right, Herbert Alexander.
He has a immigration hold also.
I just see 1 and 2 here.
Is there nothing?
Anybody know where they are?
Should say main jail.
Main jail. Someone sleeping?
Keep going.
All right, let's wake them up and then we'll come back to them.
He's on his way up here now.
Okay. Thank you, Deputy. I appreciate it. Okay, good morning, Mr. Herbert Alexander. You have possession of MDMA, ecstasy, $1,000 bond. You do have a writ of arrest for $800 from Judge Dale Cohen. You have to pay. You also have an immigration hold, no bond hold. Court does find probable cause. I'm going to leave his bond at $1,000. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Next one is Orrin Mims.
Your Honor, Mark Z is the attorney from Orrin Mims. He wants to know if you can call him.
Sure.
Where's his birthday?
What's his number? 954?
290 5550.
Are you Mr. Orrin Mims? Hit the button.
Hello, this is Mark.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Hi, are you Orrin Mims?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Mr. Z, good morning. Nice to hear from you, sir. We have...
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. No problem with you appearing by phone whenever you want to. I don't have a problem with it. In any event, we have your client, Orrin Mims. Let me read him the charges, and then we can go from there. So, sir, you have burglary, unoccupied conveyance, unarmed. We need to talk about bond. Count 2 is grand theft auto between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. This is actually a capias not in custody signed by Judge Barbara McCarthy. Court does find probable cause. Court's going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials D.O.
Should be able to mark out. Okay, go ahead.
Give me one moment.
He was picked up on the KPS or a new charge?
It's a not in custody case.
The KPS.
No, cause you're right.
There's two.
There's two of them.
Yeah, there's two.
It's the same case number.
Oh, that's right. No, one's a 17.
On Mills?
He has another 17 case.
One is a 17. Oh, that's okay. He's one and two of the same case number.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah.
Did she, McCarthy, put a bond on it?
That means he has a pending case.
Yeah, he has like 3 pending cases.
All right, the court notes that this incident allegedly occurred January 20th, 2017. Have you had an opportunity to review the probable cause affidavit?
Judge, I didn't get a chance to read it. And for purposes of today, we're willing to stipulate, for bond. I just asked for a minimal bond. Mr. Mims was established from almost 2 years ago now, and Mr. Mims lives and works here in Broward County. He knew about this and walked over and handled it and tried to run it. I don't think appearance is going to be an issue. I would just ask the court to set a very minimal bond, more in the neighborhood of $1,000, so he could post his bond and we could see what this is all about.
The state would be objecting if we'd ask for a higher bond than $1,000, given his criminal history, and he has several pending cases for the same exact charges.
Yeah, that's what my concern is. I was reading, it says surveillance continued on the defendant until he was arrested on 2/7.
And I'm showing that he has...
In Dade County for a separate auto burglary where he and the co-defendant burglarized an SUV at the same location, 619 North Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard. And it was alleged that there was over $10,000. The defendant is being charged with burglary of an unoccupied conveyance in that case, and grand theft between $5,000 and $10,000. There were Chilean passports. There's a bunch of cash. So, I'm sorry, State, you're asking for how much?
I would ask for at least like a $7,500 bond. He has a pending burglary and a grand theft in front of Judge McCarthy. The file date shows that it was September of 2018. Another pending burglary and grand theft case.
What's the date of incident, though?
They all stem from the same time frame, Your Honor, early 2017.
Okay.
But I'm showing like 3 separate pending cases for burglary, conveyance, and grand theft.
Okay.
And his criminal history includes...
Where's your client live now?
So he's living with his wife. I'm not sure exactly what to do. I know they're local. I know he came down here to handle these cases when he became aware of them. So he was actually extradited from New Jersey. And he posted bonds, and we've just been starting dealing with that, and this one just popped up as well. So they seem to space them out literally like a few weeks apart for whatever reason. But you can ask him where he's living, because I forget exactly where he's staying now.
Where are you living, sir?
In Miami Gardens at 20420 Northwest 23rd Avenue.
And who do you live there with?
My wife.
Yeah, this capias was signed 9/29. All right, anybody have anything further they'd like to say?
Just that he's got the 3 pending cases in front of Judge McCarthy, all for the same charge, same nature.
Sir, let me ask you this. What do you do for a living?
I'm a mover and a truck driver.
Okay. All right, anything further, Mr. Z?
No, Judge, I mean, again, I'd just like to reiterate that these charges all stem from approximately 2 years ago, and I can't say it's purposely, but it seems to be that every few weeks they want to add another charge, forcing Mr. Mims to be rearrested and post a new bond. I don't know, I'm not sure why they waited a month and a half to serve this arrest warrant. They could have contacted us at any time. He had a pending case that we were dealing with.
All right, I understand. All right, so no victim.
I don't like the way he's been.
Go ahead, I'm sorry, I thought you were finished.
I just don't like the way they spaced out his arrest. It seems very purposeful to force him to keep being rearrested when he's posting more bonds, instead of just having it all done at once.
Okay, I understand your comments. So, no victim contact, direct or indirect with DO. GPS level 2, no return to the 619 North Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale. $3,500 on 1, 1,000 on 2. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
No, yes. I asked 7,500.
Hi, I'm sorry, I was finishing. I actually had an attorney on the phone for a magistrate hearing.
Bar, B-A-R-R. DeMarcus.
Any priors?
No, DeMarcus. 6/29/2000.
Okay, and can you email it to me as well? Do you know my email? Thank you. So just to let you know, Tiffany Heath, they're sending it over. Spoke to the lieutenant at the jail. DeMarcus Barr, please. Morning, Mr. Barr. You have criminal mischief.
Morning, ma'am.
You have criminal mischief between $200 and $1,000, no bond required. Possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, no bond required. You do have count 3, burglary, unoccupied dwelling, unarmed. Court does find probable cause. Court is going to order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initial SC, and the court's also going to order no return to .514 Northwest 3rd Terrace, Dania Beach. What say you, State?
Your Honor, he has priors, but he has similar charges as a juvenile. The most recent was April 15th of 2018.
Also, it would seem, Judge, as though this house was perhaps under construction or something like that. I noted that the officer was flagged down by someone who was working on the house. And it appears that what Mr. Barr did is broke the window and was sleeping inside the residence. And he did cooperate with the police investigation and admit his involvement.
Does he need a place to live?
Perhaps
Wondered
Mr.
if he wants to
Farbera
go
can
to the
answer that question, Your
CRC.
Honor.
Okay, State, what are you asking for as far as bond?
3,500, Judge.
Mr. Farberic?
Judge, I can tell the court that he is 18 years old. He's single. He has no children. You're in 12th grade? He's in 12th grade right now. He does have a job. He said he works for Home Depot. He does have family members here. He was kicked out of his house. He indicated that he does have a place that he does currently live at.
Where does he live?
What's the address where you live?
9 Southwest 6th Avenue. Okay.
Whose address is that?
That's my mother.
But do you still live there?
Yes. It's just I got into a situation with my stepdad.
I don't want you talking about the facts of your case. All right, go ahead.
So, Judge, what he has asked me to ask the court for is for him to be ROR'd. What I would ask for is if the court's not inclined to ROR him, if the court would just place him on standard pretrial release.
Tell you what I'll do. The victim contact, direct or indirect with SC. And, sir, there's no return to 514 Northwest 3rd Terrace. And I want you to maintain 500 feet. I'm going to do a GPS open schedule, no bond required. You take off the monitor, you're going to be in jail on a no bond hold. You don't charge it, you're going to be on jail on a no bond hold. Who do we contact to verify that you're gonna live somewhere? We need a name and number.
Mom.
What's your mom's name?
Shoshana Bell.
Do you know her phone number?
Yeah.
What is it?
754-244-9691.
Did you get that pretrial? Say it again, 954 or 754?
754-244-9691.
All right, beautiful. You wanna call them up maybe, Mr. Reedy, and tell them they're gonna be getting a call?
Judge, are you finding probable cause?
Yes.
Give us that number one more time, sir.
754.
754-244-9691.
And your mom's first name?
Shoshana Bell.
Tashana Bell. All right, thank you. That's okay, we have it. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. DeAndre Bellum. DeAndre Bellum. Does anybody know where Mr. Bellum is?
This is me, Joe.
Where's Bellum?
Bellum?
It's the gentleman sleeping, maybe. No?
Yep, there he is.
Good morning, Mr. Bellum. All right, so you have possession of MDMA, ecstasy, $1,000 bond. You do have a capious felony. You are no-show at a status hearing before Judge Porth. Court finds probable cause. You're going tomorrow in front of Judge Porth at 8:30. I'm gonna leave the $1,000 bond in place. You can talk to Judge Porth about it. Thank you. Richard Romaine. Mr. Romaine, good morning, sir. You have retail theft, 300 plus others, distract, $1,000 bond. That's counts 1 and 4, 2 and 3 are the same grand theft, between $300 and $5,000, $1,000 bond. Total is $4,000 bond. Court's going to order no return to the Lowe's, located at 1001 West Oakland Park Boulevard, Oakland Park, Florida. Court does find probable cause. What say you, defense?
Judge, we would just be asking that the court keep the bonds in place. He indicated that he can afford them and somebody's working on posting them now.
All right. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. The court does find probable cause. No return to the Lowe's. Jason Stidel.
This one's no bond, that's why you could just.
Pardon? It's a minimum of 500 feet, I believe I said. Warren Mims, can I see that? Just the top page. Warren Mims, huh? All right, I just want to make sure. Mims? Oh, okay. Thank you, you're correct.
What is it now? That was
Jason Stidel.
Hey, Joe.
Okay.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning. You have possession of heroin, $1,000 bond. 2 is tamper with or fabricate physical evidence, $1,000 bond. 3 is fleeing or attempting to elude law enforcement, $1,000 bond. You do have an out-of-county hold for a misdemeanor at failure to appear to a pretrial for driving while license is suspended out of Osceola County. And the next one is driving the wrong way, down one way. That's a traffic infraction. So the last 2, the out-of-county hold and the traffic infraction, are not for magistrate. Court finds probable cause. What say you with regard to the $3,000 in bond, Mr. Torberg?
Judge, what I would ask is the no bond hold is going to keep him in. I don't know that Osceola is going to come and get him until those charges are resolved.
Yep.
I would just ask the court if the court would consider setting a $1 bond on those 3 counts just so he continues to get credit here. If not, I would ask the court to just leave everything as is.
Right. Tell you what, on counts 2 and 3, I'll do $1 each. I am going to leave count 1 at 1,000. Thank you, sir. Good luck to you. John Riley.
Thank you, Judge.
$1 each. Count 1 is 1,000. Count 2 and 3 are $1 each. Okay. Mr. Riley, John Riley. what is happening today? Where's Mr. Riley?
I think his bond was posted.
He bonded?
Riley. John Riley bond was posted.
Pardon?
Bond was posted.
All right, so Mr. John Riley posted his bond. He bonded. Court finds probable cause. Miguel Bustillo. Good morning, Mr. Bustillo. You have petty theft, second degree, third subsequent offense. So you have a petty theft that's being charged as a felony because you have prior theft convictions. Court does find probable cause, bond set at $350. Court is going to order no return, sir, to the Publix located at 6921 West Broward Boulevard in Plantation. If you go back there, you will be arrested. Do you understand?
You mean 750?
What did I say?
350.
Yes, Your Honor.
750. That's what I thought I said.
Does she? Judge, he has several pending cases. If the court's inclined to sua sponte revoke his bond, he has a grand theft case pending in front of Judge Tim Bailey, another grand theft case pending in front of Judge Tim Bailey, another dealing in stolen property, false ownership of a pawn item, and a grand theft case also pending in front of Tim Bailey. His priors include grand theft, resisting a merchant without violence, burglary of a conveyance, petty theft,
All right, what say you, Mr. Barbaric?
Judge, he does have family members that live here that, he indicated he should be able to post the $750 that they would be able to help him.
All right, well, here's the thing. He has too many pending cases. This event occurred on November 5th, 2018. How many pending cases does he have, State?
3 pending cases.
He has
All
3
felonies.
pending cases.
All felonies and all for the same nature of the charge.
So, all right, give me his case numbers.
18-13178 CF10A.
And that's 4.
I'm sorry?
That's 4. Grand theft.
Oh, I'm sorry. 2 counts of grand theft.
Okay, and tell me what his bonds were. Can you tell me, Sheila, what his bonds are? On 18-13178. All right, it's 2 counts of grand theft.
1,000.
All right, so I'm gonna make the bond 2,000 and 2,000 and revoke his bond.
2,000 and 2,000.
Second case,
The second case number is 18-12859 CF10A, also 2 counts of grand theft.
and what was his bonds?
$1,000 bond.
So 2,000
And
on 1, 2,000 on 2. Give me the third
actually,
case.
I'm sorry, Judge, that case has 1 count of grand theft. And then the last case number is 18-12591 CF10A.
I'm sorry, 12591.
Yes.
Okay, what other counts does he have in the 12-859? I have to address those bonds.
12-859, it's just 1 count of grand theft. $1,000 bond. he
No,
had.
no. You said 18-12859.
Correct.
It was 2 counts of grand theft is what you told me.
I misspoke. It's 1 count of grand theft, and it was a
Okay.
$1,000 bond on that count.
Okay, so in 18-12859 CF10A, the court's gonna revoke his bond, do a $2,000 bond. In case number 18-13178 CF10A, court's gonna revoke his bond, do $2,000 on each count of grand theft. In 18-12591 CF10A, what's he have?
He's charged with dealing in stolen property. It was a $1,000 bond, count 2, false ownership of a pawn item. That was a $1,000 bond, and grand theft, also a $1,000 bond.
So what was it for the dealing in stolen property, I'm sorry?
$1,000.
So 2,000 on the dealing in stolen, court's gonna revoke his bond in that case. 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 on each count, dealing in stolen property, false owner, and grand theft. And on this case, the court will set bond at $1,000, no return to the public's. GPS level 2, I'm gonna do a curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Thank you, sir, good luck to you.
Judge, on case number 13178,
Hold on, let me look at it.
How many?
Sorry.
it sounded like you said 2, it's only 1.
You said that there was,
There's only 1 count.
Sorry, 1 count.
okay,
He was
so
just
do.
Yeah, he was arrested on 2 counts, but they filed 1.
Okay, so 18-13178, thank you for clarifying, CF10A, $2,000 bond on 1 count of grand theft, not 2. Lubin Augustin.
Here.
Lubin Augustin, step up, sir. You have ag assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill.
Okay.
There's no bond required. Sorry, there's a, we need to talk about bond. And count 2 is grand theft of a firearm, $1,000 bond. Court does find probable cause.
This is Augustine, right?
His birthday?
Court's gonna order no return to the Burger King located at 6125 West Sunrise Boulevard, Sunrise, Florida. Court's also gonna order no possession of any firearms, ammunition, or weapons. Additionally, court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials DG. What say you, state?
Yeah, the state would be asking for a $10,000 bond with pretrial and a GPS monitor.
And tell me his priors, please.
He has an uttering a forged document from 2015, 2 counts of battery and a disorderly conduct from 2014.
And what was the disposition of that?
On the batteries?
Yes.
He was adjudicated guilty.
Does he have any felony priors?
He has a 2013 grand theft.
And what happened with that? Is he a convicted felon?
No, it was a withhold of adjudication.
Okay.
That's all that I see at this point.
Judge, I also have a probable cause argument to make in regard to count 2.
Sure.
The allegation here is that Mr. Augustin is charged with grand theft of a firearm. There's nothing in this probable cause affidavit to support the concept that he stole the gun. The gun was reported stolen out of Indian River County in 2010. So it was 8 years ago that this gun was stolen. Mr. Augustin also states that the gun was given to him by a friend and told the police where it was. So I don't think there's...
I tend to agree with you. What say you, State? Do you want time to perfect, or if you don't think you're going to be able to perfect it, you can just agree to no PC. It's up to you.
Judge, we'd ask for time to perfect.
Okay, so...
Steve, I don't know what's to be perfected, but I think
That's
they're
all
within
right.
their rights
Don't
to
worry
ask.
about it. We'll just, so no PC on 2. I'll give you 48 hours.
I'd ask for 24, Judge. I don't know why it would take 48 hours to perfect this probable cause affidavit.
The officer could be off for the day. I mean, it could be anything. I am going to give them 48 hours. I think that's reasonable. I understand your point, though. So court is going to find probable cause on count 1 only.
And Judge, as to count 1, I would note that the report indicates that Mr. Augustin, in his statement to the police, did admit that the gun was given to him and that he was concerned about an ongoing harassment of his daughter, and that seems to be the underlying, or daughters, by the alleged victim in the case, and that seems to be the underlying cause of the conflict here.
The issue, Mr. Reedy, is I understand what you're saying.
I'm not
But
saying
he's
that what he did was
23
right.
Hold on. He's 23 years old and he has a 14-year-old daughter. How old's his daughter? Because the alleged victim is 14.
I don't know how old his daughter is, Judge.
I mean, he's pulling out a gun on a 14-year-old. So,
I'm not saying that it was the right thing to do or the smart thing to do, but I think that there is some thing to be considered about that course of conduct.
I'm sorry, State. Any other priors than what you told me?
No. No, Judge.
All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, I can tell the court that he has lived here all of his life, that his daughter is 9 years old, that he has no money in the bank, that he currently works, and he does have family members here. They indicated that they would try to help him post bond. What I would ask the court to do, in light of the fact that there was no probable cause on count 2 found, I would ask the court to ROR him with regards to count 2. I would ask the court to set a bond of $1,000 on count 1, which his family would be able to afford, based on the fact that there's mitigating circumstances here as well.
Well, the court has a concern, the present conduct of your client, based on what I said to Mr. Reedy. He allegedly pulled a gun on a 14-year-old in front of a Burger King. So this is what the court's going to do. No victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials DG. No return to the Burger King. I want him to maintain 500 feet from the alleged victim minimum. I am going to do a GPS open schedule. I am going to do a $5,000 bond on 1, ROR on 2. Thank you. Good luck to you.
So no perfection.
So we're not gonna
We can do a perfection.
If you're RORing, it doesn't, you know, so.
Well, it's up to you.
No. That's fine, Your Honor. You don't, state's not asking for perfection then.
Okay, so do you want to agree that there's no PC?
Yes,
Okay.
Judge.
She's RORing, so how can we pursue?
No.
Right.
She made this 5,000. What? She made this 5,000. Okay.
Yes. Doesn't make sense. There's no, you have to perfect it when they're gonna, you know what I mean? The ROR.
Okay. Ian Smith. Ian Smith, step up.
Bonded.
Did we get the PC report yet, Sheila?
No.
Brandon Cooper.
Did she find PC on this?
Bonded.
Bonded.
I'm gonna tell Mr. Romero that Miss Cooper sounds better when she says it. He'll get jealous. Romeo White. Come on up, Mr. White.
Hey, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You have possession of alprazolam.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so court does find probable cause, $1,000 bond. What's his prior history, defense? State, I mean.
No Broward priors, Your Honor. He has priors out of Ohio, California, and Maryland.
What are they?
Out of Ohio from 2015, he has a receiving stolen property, criminal damaging, aggravated theft, burglary.
What kind of vehicle does your client drive?
He's not from here. He's from Ohio.
Judge, he indicated that he doesn't have a car.
What's his mailing address? 4247 West 58th Street, Cleveland, Ohio.
Yes. Yes, it is, Judge.
Can he afford the bond?
Judge, he indicated that he could afford the bond.
All right, I'll leave the bond at $1,000.
Thank you, Judge.
Also, tell your client he can check online.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
That was first out of work.
Okay, you have to update the city name. They spelled Cleveland wrong. They spelled it C-L-E-A-V. Thank you. Ronald Mobley. Ronald Mobley, where are they?
This one's no, this one. So we do Mobley. Just had them out of order.
All right, we're gonna pass Ronald Mobley. Let's go to Tyreek Gant.
He's right there.
All right. Judge, he's right here. I'm sorry. I apologize. I didn't realize he was standing right behind.
Okay. All right, Mr. Mobley, you have petty theft, second degree, third subsequent offense. So it's a petty theft being charged as a felony because you have a prior history of thefts. Court does find probable cause. Court's gonna order no return, sir, to the Walmart at 2500 West Broward Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You'll go back there, you will be arrested. What say you, defense?
Judge, he indicated there was no response when I called for him earlier. He indicated that he's currently working at a car wash, that he doesn't have money at this point to afford the bond. He's asked me to ask the court if the court would consider RORing him.
So Mobley? Judge, the statement of Jeff.
Why?
Based on his criminal history of, he has 2017 felony battery, he has 2016 petty theft, 2016 loitering and prowling, possession of drug paraphernalia, 2016 trespass, 2016 soliciting for prostitution.
When's the last time he failed to appear?
We're looking that up, Judge. Seeing any recent ones, Judge.
All right, I'll ROR him. No return to the Walmart, sir. Good luck. Don't
Thank
go
you.
back
Thank you,
there.
Judge.
Tyreek Gant.
ECCN.
Okay, Mr. Gant, you have burglary, dwelling unoccupied, unarmed, and larceny, grand theft between $300 and $5,000. Court finds probable cause on count 2, it's $1,000. What say you state on count 1, the burglary? Okay, while you're looking that up, court's gonna order no victim contact, direct or indirect, with the alleged victim with the initials IJ. And the court's also gonna order no return to the location of 2220 Madison Street in Hollywood, Florida.
Judge, the state would be asking for at least a $3,500 bond based on his prior criminal history. He has a prior burglary from 2013. He has prior batteries from 2013. He has a grand theft auto from 2014, possession of cocaine 2014, several trespasses in 2017. Just looking to see if there's any pending cases. No other pending cases.
Let's see if there were any like egregious facts or anything.
One moment, give me one moment. Hello? All right, what say you, defense?
Judge, I can tell the court that he's lived here for 17 years, that he is single, he has no children. He was working at a car wash, he's not working there anymore though. He has no money in the bank, but he does have family members that live here in the area. He is unsure that they have the money to post for any kind of bond, so he is asking to ask the court to consider RORing him on both counts. If the court is not inclined to do that, I would ask the court to keep $1,000 on count 2 and to ROR him pre-trial release with regards to count 1.
Thank you, Sheila.
That's for the good.
No, it says in here, Mr. Barbaric, that the alleged victim, when the picture was shown of the defendant, she advised that the suspect was wandering around the apartment building for a while and was sleeping in the laundry room on multiple occasions. She said that the mother used to reside in one of the apartments, apartment 1. But here's the thing, he went into a house and went into her daughter's bedroom. So, no victim contact, direct or indirect with IJ, no return to 2220 Madison Street, Hollywood, Florida. Court's gonna do a GPS curfew from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I want him to maintain 500 feet from the residence and from the alleged victim. Court is gonna do a $5,000 bond on one. I'll leave the bond at $1,000 on two, total of $6,000. GPS level 2. Thank you.
She's gonna be seeing both.
On everything.
Did you get a copy of the PC? Okay, thank you.
This is
All right, so let's recall, thank you Sheila for that. Let's recall Tiffany Heath. It was in the beginning, I'm not sure.
Top of page 4.
Top of page 4. Are you Miss Heath?
Yes.
All right, we received your probable cause affidavit, so here we go. Let's start from the top, okay? So you have possession of cannabis, 20 grams or less, $100 bond. Count 2, possession of cocaine. Count 3, possession of MDMA, ecstasy, $1,000 bond. Total bond is $2,100. Court does find probable cause based on the probable cause affidavit we just received, page 2. It says that the field tested positive for MDMA, cocaine, and cannabis.
Judge, just the court's aware she has a pending case in front of Judge Colra.
For what?
For possession of controlled substance, caffeinonis.
Yes, and she's currently being supervised on pretrial, Your Honor, for that case, and she was placed on standard supervision back on August 23rd in this court.
Okay.
We're asking that it be revoked, please.
The only thing I would add, Judge, about this probable cause affidavit
Okay.
is that there are no weights associated with the MDMA or the cocaine. We don't know if these are residue amounts that will ultimately only be charged as misdemeanors, or whether there's enough here to constitute a felony charge being filed.
Okay, well, court does find probable cause. I understand your argument. What say you, defense?
Judge, I can tell the court that she's lived here all of her life. She is single, has kids, 9 children that age and range from 23 to 6. She has no money in the bank, and she's currently not working. She also doesn't believe that there's anybody that can help her post her bond. She's asked me to ask the court if the court would consider some type of ROR or pretrial release with regards to these charges, because frankly, I don't think she's going to be able to post any bond.
Well, here's the thing. She's on pretrial. I just put her on it. I'm revoking her pretrial. $1,000 bond in case number 1810268 CF10A. On the possession of cannabis, I'll ROR her. On the possession of cocaine, $1,000 bond. On the possession of MDMA, I'll ROR her. So it's $2,000 total. Someone's going to have to come up with $200. Thank you, sir. Good luck. Thank you, ma'am. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
And we need to put this probable cause because it's missing page 2. Thank you. Richard Vargas.
His bond's been posted.
Thank you. Court finds probable cause. This is theft, state tax, Florida Department of Revenue, okay? Dustin Burke. Where's Dustin Burke? We have a booking.
That's Your Honor. He's a medical reset.
Okay, Mr. Reedy, it's 11/6. He was arrested 11/3. He was a medical loan. We have a picture. He's a medical reset. We need to have a finding of probable cause in absentia.
Was that him?
Thank you.
You don't? I can't hear you. Speak in the mic.
I'm sorry, Judge. It's very redundant, the number of charges filed against Mr. Burke. You know, I mean, I'd really like an opportunity for him to be present and address what type of bond he can afford.
Well, we're not addressing bond. We're only doing PC.
I understand that, but without an opportunity to speak to him, I don't know that I have a probable cause affidavit based on the number of allegations that are, you know, appear to be very identical in nature to each other. I'd reserve an argument on probable cause if that's what you want to do, Judge, if you want to make a finding. And based on my conversations with Mr. Burke, when and if he arrives, you know.
All right, I'll tell you what. I'll give you till tomorrow. If not, we're gonna have a probable cause finding.
Okay, that's fair
Okay?
enough. Okay, that's fine,
So
Judge.
go through the paperwork and see what your argument is. Andra Rhett.
Still a medical loan, I believe.
That's correct. We found probable cause.
Yes, we did. That's that.
Okay. All right, we'll see everybody back at 1 o'clock. Thank you. Mr. Barbaric, will we see you then?
I will be here.
Okay, we'll see you then.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Thank you.